Hi, welcome to the How to Read Thai Sample Sentence 1 video. My name is Russ, and together with Duangta, we're going to be taking you through the sample sentence that we've covered in the previous posts on the websites. What we're going to do is we're going to break the sentence down into its component parts, and we're going to explain to you, along with pronunciation and so forth, this sentence, the sounds, etc., and basically how we break all this down. So, without further ado, we'll move on to the sample sentence. And it does look a right handful, doesn't it? If this is your first time of encountering something like this, then you'll probably be looking for spaces or something familiar. And unfortunately, they're not there. But it is possible to obviously break this down and to read this as a sentence. One of the things with reading Thai script is the fact that because there are no spaces, kind of have to know what the words are to actually form a logical sentence, which when you're then reading the Thai script back, then you can you put in your own pauses and your own spaces, and then you can read it correctly. I'll read this first in my own Pidgin Thai, and I'll read it by word, and then I'll pass it over to Duangta, and when she reads it, you'll see what I mean, because she'll break it down how it should be read, actually into the component parts of the sentence. So anyway, here's my attempt. นักเรียนนำรูปภาพของการแทนระบำชาวเกาะไปติดบนกระดานดำ. So that's my attempt, and that's reading it word by word, okay? And what I'm going to do now is I'm going to pass you over to Duangta, and she'll read it correctly.
สวัสดีค่ะ This is Duangta. Here is the sample sentence. นักเรียนนำรูปภาพของการเต้นระบำชาวเกาะไปติดบนกระดานดำ
So there you have the two different versions. As you can probably hear, Duangta sounds very beautiful, it flows lovely, all the different tones, whereas mine sounds, I don't know, something like banging a drum or dragging a shovel over a gravel car park or something like that. But what this is all about is it's actually learning to read Thai, okay? And it's breaking this sentence down, which is what we're going to do. So don't worry, we'll go through this sentence step by step. And we're not going to duplicate all the content in the posts here, just the key points. So you can switch between this and the posts and use the howtoreadthai.com site post to help you. There's far more detail on them. So where do we start? Okay, we'll now look at the entire sentence and quickly analyse how we broke it all down. As we don't know how to identify the individual words, we have to look for clues to help us. The consonants can give us some clues, but it's far easier to look for the vowels. We get more clues from the vowels. Some vowels have special rules that can easily help us identify the end of a syllable or word. And this is where we start. So the first thing we'll do is we'll look at the first vowel.
First vowel ตระ
And the first vowel we look for here is sara'am. Remember, all vowels have to have a consonant associated with them. There are no freestanding vowels in Thai. Like in English, we have the personal pronoun I, which is a freestanding vowel. Okay? Thai has to have a consonant associated with it, every vowel. This vowel is always written after a consonant. As we said in the post, the hyphen, the position where the hyphen is marks where the consonant would be written. So sara'am is always written after a consonant. And this vowel always marks the end of a syllable. Okay, so this marks where the beginning of the next syllable or word will be. So, in our sentence, we identify the instances of sara'am.
นำ บำ ดำ
And then, using our dictionary, we can work out what each word is. I know this is long-winded, but this is all part of the learning process, okay? If you can ask someone what these words are, then it's obviously quicker. We use our dictionary. Now, the first instance of we see sara'am that is actually a word. Second instance, as you can see, the syllable where the vowel is actually the second syllable in this word. So you need to look this word up. And the third instance is the last syllable in a 3-syllable word. But I think we covered this in the post, so you can just go back to the post and work out how we've done this.
นำระบำกระดานดำ Second vowel สระอะ
We now scan for other vowels that mark the end of a syllable. Sara'a always marks the end of a syllable, and we've already identified 2 in our sentence. There's the first one, there's the second. And there's actually one more. And there it is highlighted in red. And we've already worked out the first and third instances, so we look up the second word. Sara'a, in this instance, is part of another vowel. This vowel is called sara'o. It's a complex vowel. Please refer to the book Learn and Tie Your Great Adventure on page 18. Or you can obviously look at one of the previous posts for this vowel. Duangta will now show you how it's correctly pronounced.
เกาะ Third vowel